Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan. Today, it's funny because I was planning on shooting this video today either way, but started my day out. I just got out of the shower and pulled up YouTube, and there it is. One of my favorite whiskey YouTube channels, which probably many of you watch, is SLB Bourbon, SLB Drinks, and they're great, right? And ironically, they did literally this exact same thing today, and I was like, you got to be kidding me! What are the chances? But I had already procured Old Overholt 11-year cask strength, which is brand new this year. I have the 10-year, which that's my second bottle of the 10-year. I was a big fan of that one, still am. And then this is brand new this year, the 11-year expression. So we'll try that out. And so I figured I'd shoot it side by side with another brand new rye whiskey this year, which is the 9-year rye from Sagamore. So Sagamore Spirits, a 9-year rye. So funny, they did the exact same thing. And I'm going to look like a copycat, but that's fine. I don't really care. So anyways, we'll see if I differ from them in any capacity here, but I'm going to dive into these today. We'll see what we think. If you're not familiar with Old Overholt, so we'll start with this one. The Old Overholt used to be a Pennsylvania rye whiskey, and then, the brand kind of went under. Jim Beam purchased the rights to the brand name, and then started distilling rye whiskey under the Old Overholt label. So it's no longer Pennsylvania, but they do try to honor the traditions and the heritage of the Pennsylvania distillers. But anyways, that's their story. And what's unique about the Old Overholt stuff is with the 10-year, they started doing this in the escalator warehouse that they have, where they're moving the barrel around, right? So sort of like uniformity through chaos. Instead of just being sweet and low or high and dry, they're like, we're just going to move it around. So it's going to get a little bit of everything. It's going to get some of the hotter, upper floors. It's going to get the cooler bottom floors. It's going to get the sweet spot in the middle. And it's going to spend some time in just about every elevation of that warehouse. So that's kind of a unique thing too. The other thing is that this is a cask strength, but it's a lower proof than the 10-year. So the 10-year, I think, is 121 proof. This one comes in at, 107 or something like that? It is, 107.4. So, a little lower proof. Let's get in here. Oh, I should also mention the MSRP on this is $100. $100. Ooh. I get fresh wood shavings. I think of anise and black tea. Sweet old-timey candies, right? The nose is a lot less punchy and assertive than the Old Overholt 10-year, which I get a lot more like leather on and full-blown wood shop. Let's try it. Cheers. Well, that sure is a lot. 1 year of difference from the 10-year. Way different, though, on the palate. A lot more sawdust, a lot more of that sort of warehouse funk as well on the palate. But it sure does have a lot of these like tea notes, like black tea notes that I was getting on the nose. That transfers really well to the palate here. There's even a sort of flat cola note, right? It's not bubbly, but there's that flat cola note in there too, which is really peculiar. Yeah, the 10-year gives me a little bit more caramels and burnt sugars than I'm getting on the 11. The 11's much more vegetal. Like I said, those tea notes and the cola, it does have a sweetness to it, and I think that wood shaving note is really prominent as well. Well, it's really interesting how that can change so much with just a year of difference in the age. I think I would say I still prefer the 10-year to the 11, actually. I think I like that. This one's just got a little bit more attitude, which I respect, right? It's a little more assertive. If you prefer more vegetal notes and those wood shavings and a little bit more of a mellowed out rye too, because the proof point's quite a bit lower, then you might prefer the 11-year. Interesting. Let's move on to the Sagamore Spirit 9-year rye. I do believe that is the longest age statement on a Sagamore product. So Sagamore is in Baltimore, I believe, but they do source. I think almost exclusively from MGP, but don't quote me on that. They may source or contract distill elsewhere too. But I think everything I've had from them has been MGP. Ooh. I'll note this comes in at 112.6 proof, and the MSRP for this is $80. I'm getting a little bit of a tropical fruit note here. Mango, peach. But I'm also getting this, like, I say this and I don't want it to say, it's probably gonna sound bad, but I'm not trying to say it as a negative thing, but it also has a bit of a dry erase marker, ethanol, hit to the nose too. And it definitely has that sort of fresh cut grass note you get on ryes. Let's get in there. Cheers. A little bit of a white peppercorn punch to it right up front. Those tropical fruits, they're kind of late in the mid palate is when they sort of come forward. Other than that, I'm actually getting a nice nuttiness. It kind of runs throughout most of the palate there. And it starts to fade on the finish, where that fresh cut grass, those traditional sort of mellowed out rye notes come forward and ride it out with just a subtle oak. It's not like a big oaky presence on the finish. There's also this creamy mixed with like ginger root kind of a vibe. You know what it makes me think of? Like a root beer float. It kind of gives me root beer float vibes, which I really like. Huh. Well, I gotta say, I like both of these pours. If I were to pick one though, I think I would prefer the Sagamore 9-year over the Overholt 11, but I would probably take the Overholt 10-year over the Sagamore 9, right? So it'd be like a Overholt sandwich there in the rankings. But all of these are really good. Heck yeah. By the way, thank you, Welsh, for sharing a pour from your Sagamore 9-year. I appreciate that. And DMC, I couldn't find the 11-year near me, so he could find it near him. So I paid him, and he handed it over to me. So thanks for picking that up for me too, brother. Which brings me to my next point. If you want to get involved in a really cool community that's just loving whiskey together, sharing life together and experiences and all that stuff, talking football on the weekends and whiskey every day in between, hey, feel free to check out our Discord. It's totally free to join. Link is in the description to that. We also have a Patreon group with our separate Patreon lounge in the Discord, which you're free to check out the Patreon lounge as well. It's just that we just make it really approachable. It's literally $1. That's it. It's basically free to get in there in the Patreon, which the link is in the description to that too. But then beyond that, we also have other tiers where we do other activities. We're doing a bottle share right now. We've done like 2 nights of it. We got 1 night left of the bottle share to do. We've got some other activities and events coming up on the horizon, even setting up picks maybe next year. So there's a lot to do and a lot of cool people to do it with. So check that out, please. Hey, if this isn't your first time by the channel and you're like, hey, it's kind of all right, I like the vibe here, kick your shoes off and stay a while. Maybe hit that subscribe button and leave a like on the videos. That's the best free way to support the content right here on YouTube. And with that, I would ask you, based on the tasting notes today, which of these 2 pours do you think you would prefer? Cheers, my friends. May you live richly and get better with age, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.